Oh, wow. Hold on. Please hold. That was you talking in the background.
What was that?
So we're in the kitchen this evening for episode 10 of season 8. Oh, Desmond already signed on. We see you. Episode 10 of season 8. And I'm Felicia Minor, and Freddie Prinze Charming is not here tonight. But this is Let's Have a Fefe. And I have special guest Mia Inez Adams.
Hello. Hi, Facebook.
Yes, and for more than 6 years, we have been doing this. I've been disappointing you every Wednesday night. What do I have a permit for that? This is your Wednesday night conversation. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Be sure to share this episode. We're brought to you by Wigs of a Kind at wigsofakind.com and The Burly Barber at theburlybarbers.com. This is not a Wigs of a Kind wig.
It's a kind of wig. But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is Twitch? I've never heard of that. I thought Twitch was a dancer.
Neither
also,
has...
you think you can dance?
He's good too.
Or is that Lilo and Stitch?
Mm-mm.
So tonight is just Felicia and this bitch.
There's actually somebody watching us on Twitch. Oh. That's not the goodies. We don't let her cook.
Who said that?
That's already. See, I told you.
Mess. Desmond, you go somewhere.
I'm just gonna stand here and watch the comments while you do things.
So what are we doing?
We're doing some holiday baking, right?
Not really baking. We're gonna make some candy.
Okay.
We're gonna do 3 different recipes that start off very simple to kind of intermediate and then to kind of complicated. So it's really simple. The first recipe we're gonna make are just gonna be some dipped pretzel rods, and then we're gonna make some sugared nuts. Do you like your nuts sugared? And then some old Southern pecan praline candy. So, we're going to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to make some dipped pretzel rods.
Your daughter says she can't watch the show if your titties are out.
Ho, ho, ho. I said ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
Anyway, first we're going to start off with these Snyder's pretzel rods. And we're going to dip these into some frosting and then cover them in some pecans. Very simple. So we have these Snyder's pretzel rods. We have just whatever kind of frosting you want to use of choice. We're going to take the lid off and we're going to remove the metal piece of this. And we're going to pop this in the microwave for 1 minute. Just 1 minute in the microwave is all it needs. Oh, let me take the lid off so it doesn't pop up on us too much. I detect metal.
Foul play.
Once we get into our other candy recipes, you'll understand something's very important in every kitchen when you're making candy, and that's to have a pot of boiling water on the stove.
Why is that?
Just in case your candy seizes up on you, you can add boiling water and help loosen it back up rather quickly.
Instead of starting over, like I probably do.
And tossing the whole thing in the trash. That's true.
Your daughter wants your onesie. Does that laugh mean? Is that like?
This is not a onesie. In my lab, we call this a big uno. Let me check our frosting. How long is it in there?
24 seconds left.
Okay.
So this is relatively quick, though.
Yeah, the first one's super, super, super fast. We've taken some peppermint. We took peppermint sticks. This is 2 peppermint sticks almost, and we just crushed it up. It's going to be what we're going to cover our pretzel rods in. Really simple. Let me check this frosting real quick. And do we have a perfect? Let's see how it is. Is it hot? Yes. So you want to melt it for just about a minute. And it's going to be super, super, oh yeah, perfect. Nice and liquidy. And then Felicia, this is how it goes. I'll do one at a time. You take a pretzel rod. You're going to dip it. I'm sure you're used to a little hook to it. And then you're going to strain off any extra frosting. It's going to let it drip off. And then you're going to go right into your peppermint real quick. And there you go. Just that fast. And then you're going to set them on some wax paper. And because you microwave the frosting, it will set and get hard.
Also, it's real quick.
So it's super quick. Yeah, it sets pretty fast. And then you just want to make sure you get any extra drippings off. So you want to get the frosting into your peppermint mixture. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. And then again.
Hi, Barbara.
Real quick.
Hi, Nate. Hi, Mimi. I got your Christmas card.
And then, Felicia, I want you to do some of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set some of these already in here. And you just want to hold it like that. You don't want to get too much frosting. You want to make sure that it drizzles off as much as possible so that the frosting doesn't come off into your peppermint. And then once it's all drizzled down and it's gone, just quickly roll it in your...
It's a shake and bake.
Just shake and bake and you have. And then set it on the thing and keep it going. And that is how you make your very simple and quick peppermint rolled candies. And this one is not quite set, but as you can see, the peppermint sticks and it sets on them really lovely. They're great to put in baskets and you can bundle them together and put a ribbon around them and serve them to a friend. Oh. And so we're going to have one of our, what is your daughter's name? Emily. Emily, will you join us for a second? We want you to taste test our pretzel rods. But you see how you want to get more frosting on it? Yeah. See how you want to do at least half of it. There you go. Emily, there you go. Come on screen. And turn around so they can see you. This is Felicia's daughter, and that's one of our pretzel sticks. So it's just pretzel. Try it, see what you think. I believe her. So we're going to keep going with those. Felicia's really skimpy with the peppermint, honestly. But if you have to lean it to the side to get all the candy on there. And if your peppermint starts to clump together, get yourself a ladle. And beat it.
We don't have music rights.
Only if you sing so far, right? So
hi, Anita to-go box.
Let's keep going. Because you're just doing just the tip. That's Freddie's gig. You want to go all the way halfway down. See that? Okay. And then just real quick.
Take them out to where you have it.
Oh, see how I go all the way down on it?
Oh, okay. Oh. You're going to want to see it.
This is Felicia. She just did just the tip. Yeah, you're not paying big money for hers.
Yeah.
And this recipe is super, super, super easy. It's something I definitely recommend. Yeah, halfway. It's something I recommend you can do with children. It's an easy thing for kids to do. So we just want to grab one.
But not a
at
Felicia.
Least halfway.
Not a Felicia. Is there chocolate on it too? There should be dark chocolate.
Well, I usually do them with white chocolate frosting, but we're just using regular vanilla frosting and peppermint today. You can kind of do this with anything you want, to be honest.
I think she was asking if we could do like
a double dip.
Yeah.
We could, after they set, we could always dip the other end. People always want more. You got to keep it moving, Mama. You can't slow down. You got to keep it moving. Maybe I should have got you your own bag of stuff. That's your plan.
I think it's time to beat it. Sticking together.
That's because of you. So I'm going to show you guys kind of quickly what they look like. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is what the candy looks like. Oops, I don't know where to put it so they can see. Right here. Because there's a delay. So there it is. So that's what the candies look like when you're done with them. And the frosting, because you microwave it, it will not stay soft like it would be on a cake, so that it will set and it'll stay on there like that. And you see mine are all the way down. Let me show y'all poor little Felicia's. She just did the tip. Just the tip.
I was teasing.
Look at this one. Whole little piece of candy. I'm going to eat this one so y'all don't have to see it.
Don't put me in your mouth.
What?
I
Nervous.
just broke this.
Broke what? So I'm going to try one to see how they taste. And it's just a pretzel, frosting, and candies. You could do this with mint candies. You could do it with cinnamon candies. For a birthday, you could do crushed lemon heads. You know, any kind of hard candy.
I'm not good at this.
Mmm.
That's horrible. I think it's
Yummy. I'm going to set these over here. Felicia, you keep going. Mmm. That's good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
How did that taste?
Well, now I got down to the Felicia portion. It's just plain and brown.
Mm.
Much like you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
No. I'm dead.
She got peppermint all over the floor. Okay.
You take over.
We'll put your... Well, so look, Felicia, look. Get that nice and coated. See how that's nice and coated halfway down? See? You want to let it drizzle off as much as you can. Oh, she done got the candy all clumped up down here now.
That's what I said. I messed it up. Somebody's good.
So we're going to set this to the side over there. That's
You don't want them with your pretty one?
No, we're going to let yours. No, show them your work. Show them your work.
These are amazing. These are that huge clump, though.
That one has a infection. I mean, a convection. They don't have to be pretty. You just have to eat them.
It says, come on, go deeper.
Well, so we're going to set this to the side. Come here for a second. We have another special guest with us tonight. She's come over. Come over. Look at the TV. This is
It's a little bit delayed.
Robert Verdugo, better known as Masquerade. We're going to set Masquerade to the side and see if she wants to play with these for a little while. Something else you can do if you are a Felicia Minor, you can just crunch the pretzels up into a powder, pour the frosting and the cinnamon and make balls. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe,
that's a good idea.
maybe she's not good with sticks. Maybe she's used to working with balls.
A little bit of both.
Holiday joy. We're going to set this to the side.
Why are you saying hi again?
Girl, you got stuff everywhere. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Paper towel, wet sponge. Spill on aisle 17. So is anybody going to try to make those? It's really simple. Look, Masquerade's enjoying one right now. Of the good ones.
That's not what I meant.
So next we're going to make our sugared nuts. Do you guys like your nuts sugared?
Never heard of that.
There's questions, but I can't read. I can't see. I have no idea what it says.
Desmond says, oh my God, I miss her. And everybody keeps telling me to go deeper and go down.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, okay.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
we're going to start making our sugared nuts. And what you will need for the sugared nuts are
Sugar.
granulated sugar. You'll also need some brown sugar. It's your choice whether you want to go light or dark, totally up to you. The darker the sugar, the more molasses flavor it will give.
Now that makes sense.
You'll also need cinnamon, which is optional. You don't have to use cinnamon. You can also use powdered ginger or both or nutmeg, whatever kind of spice you'd like to add.
Mimi would like to add that she prefers salty balls. Salty balls are for salty bitches.
You'll need some water and some raw almonds. The almonds have to be raw. They cannot be toasted. And we're going to make our sugar nuts. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out this is a quarter cup scoop. We're going to measure out 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar or white sugar. So that will be, and I'm going to use a heavy cast iron or enamel pot. This works best. And also, if you see over in the back, over in the corner, I have a pot of boiling water. It's important when you're making candy to have boiling water, because in case your candy seizes up, you can use the hot water to loosen it before you ruin the whole batch. So I'm going to put the granulated sugar in first. Can you open the brown sugar for me? So that is the 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. Now I need a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar. So we're going to go into the good brown sugar. The good browned sugar. And you want to pack it in there real good, like your sugar packed.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that about you.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that about you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at it.
Put that right on top. And then the next thing we're going to need is some cinnamon, which is right here. And it says a teaspoon of cinnamon, but we're just going to shake it. Kind of eyeball our cinnamon there.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then you have salt.
Salt. Maybe.
Yes, pure sea salt is even best. And it just takes a little bit of salt. We're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So again, we're just going to shake it just to kind of balance everything out. Then the last thing we need is a 1/2 cup of water. Do you have bottled water? Nope, just 1/2 cup of water is fine. And it's important when making this recipe to always use a wooden spoon, because otherwise, if you use a metal spoon, the candy will stick to it. So you don't want to do that.
I got excited.
And this is a 1/2 cup.
You said 1/2 cup?
I did. And so you just pour that in on top of that. And we've turned the fire on, and we're going to cook this until it becomes almost like a caramel. It takes about 5 minutes. And you want to keep stirring once it starts bubbling. So it's not bubbling yet, but I'm stirring it now just to incorporate the cinnamon and the sugar all together.
Mimi wants to know, what's your favorite nut?
Coconut.
Mm.
No, I like pecans, but I'm from Texas. So some people say pecan or pecan. So is it a pecan or a pecan?
I say pecan.
I say pecan now because she said pecan. I say pecan. Also, the sugar nut recipe that we're making right now,
Mm-hmm.
you can also use this. Well, no, that's the next one. To make like a frosting if you want it.
Oh, that sounds good.
Can you get me another 1/2 cup of water?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put it into our boiling water because it's almost boiled away. Just so that we know we have some nice hot water.
You want a cup?
No, just some water. Doesn't matter. That's fine. Just pour some in there on top of that boiling water. That's good. And so it turns out it's working well. And so this right here takes about 5 minutes to get going. So this whole thing with the sugar nuts, it takes about 5 minutes to get the simple syrup to melt down and the caramel to start. And then after that, about another 10 minutes. So this whole recipe takes about 15 minutes from start to finish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another quick one then.
Yeah. But we're dealing with fire this time, so I don't know if I'm going to let Felicia near the stove.
Why?
Why?
It's more adventurous.
Felicia said why? Let me show you.
Get out of here.
No fire was used. And do you see what Felicia made? This is going in your gift basket.
You're welcome. Oh my God.
Hold on. So be proud. Be proud.
I am. Look, this one almost.
Or would
looks
you like this in your gift basket? No. Look at. You didn't go down far enough. You didn't have a gag. Oh, let me stop.
What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
So can you smell that now?
Mm-hmm. They can't, but I can.
I'm going to cheat a little bit.
What's that?
And add more brown sugar because that's the kind of girl I am. Mm-hmm. I usually use equal parts of both.
Oh yeah?
So I'm going to add another 1/4 cup of brown sugar because that's just me. Okay,
No.
see it? See how it's bubbling now? You see how it starts to bubble?
Oh, can I bring it over?
I wish you could. Because once it starts to bubble, that's when you know you're doing something. I removed it from the heat because it was already starting to bubble up. And you have to understand that when you're making candy, that this stuff is like napalm. So you do not want to get it on you. So I'm going to put it back on the plate so you guys can see it starting to bubble up.
Oh, it smells
Divine.
delicious.
This is something you definitely want to watch the whole time you're doing it. You cannot walk away from this. I can feel it getting ready to come up again. So do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's starting to bubble up again. And this is when you really want to stir it. We're not ready for the nuts just yet. It's just at the bubble stage. You want to wait till it's still kind of loose. You want to wait till it starts to caramelize almost. And then that's when you want to put in your nuts. You're going to put your nuts in the hot sauce. So do you see how it's nice and bubbly? That's what you want. And it's going to also get darker and richer in texture. As you're stirring it, you'll feel it. Because right now it feels really loose. The more that it cooks, the thicker it's going to get. And it takes about 5 minutes. And you really need to stir the whole time you're doing it.
Thick.
And watch your flame. Because this will pop and stick on you like napalm. And then you'll run out of the kitchen looking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you smell that cinnamon in there?
Mm-hmm.
See, I can tell it's starting to splatter, so I'm turning the heat up some or down some. I don't want it to splatter. Normally, I'll just lift it off the heat and continue to stir, but you want to keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. Now, this looks like a lot of liquid, but it's really going to absorb all of these nuts.
Oh.
You never heard of it absorbing your nuts? I just removed it for just a second to stir, and I'm going to go back and forth just to calm some of the bubbles down, but I can feel it getting thicker and thicker, so you want to keep going until it gets to that candy stage, and you'll know. For those of you who are not experienced in the kitchen, if you have, or if you're going to make candy, I recommend getting a candy thermometer, and the temperature you're looking for is about 238 degrees. But
Why
do you
that
see it
number?
now, so it's getting a little thicker? I can tell it's getting a little thicker. See, it's not as syrupy, but we're still a little ways away. This process takes about 5 minutes. It smells almost like cinnamon rolls or like those sugar nuts you get at the mall. That's exactly what we're making. And I've got the fire almost on low, and it's still cutting up over here.
Mm.
Any questions?
Now let me put it down so I can see.
Can you measure out 2 cups of nuts? Or tell me how many is in that package?
A pound, 16 ounces.
Does it say how much on the back, like serving wise? What should tell you? It should break it down into cups.
1/4 cup is a serving size.
And how many servings?
16.
We're just going to hold it. But do you see it now how it's getting thicker?
Mm-hmm.
We're still not there yet. Do you want to stir it a little bit so you can feel it? Or
Sure, I'll go.
we're doing our ghost. This is like our clay pottery. Come on. And oh, it's Christmas. We can do that. But do you feel how it feels?
Can I jump in?
If you jump in, bitch, you on your own. That shit is like molten lava hot. But you want to keep it moving. We're almost ready for our nuts. I'm going to move over here for just a second. Just to kind of bring some of them bubbles down a little bit. But do you see how it's getting thicker and thicker?
Oh, they want to know thick and loose? You can be thick and loose?
You have to ask my daughter, you have to ask my granddaughter about being thick and loose. Dari Adams, you have to ask her about that.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Okay, you almost ready?
Sometimes you get thick
Do you see?
and nut.
You see how it's thicking up? We're almost there. We still got a couple more minutes to go. Yeah. Just when you think it's there. I was turning this off. I was turning off the water, not the front pan. That's why I'm like, why did I turn it down? We're almost there. You do not want to get this sugar mixture on you. I promise you it will take your skin off.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I
the
have
difference
done
in
that
this
before.
mixture and making caramel is you just would add cream, heavy cream to this and butter. That's how you make caramel. Very simple.
Next.
But you see how we're stirring it now, Felicia? If you look at it, you can see the bottom of the pan. That's how you know that it's thickening.
Yeah.
It's thickening, yeah. You got about another minute. You want to stir a little bit? Just so you can feel it? And make sure when you're stirring it, you're like really going, yeah, all the way to the edges. There you go. Well, don't push it up the edges. You want to keep it off the edges, but you just want to keep it moving. There you go. You feel the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have good quality nut. We do.
Not sponsored.
We can't show you. But they're tasty. It's getting tighter.
Mm-hmm.
Still not ready yet, I can tell. But you can tell it's
Not
getting
tight
thicker.
enough, but tight. Watch your hair? What? What's wrong with my hair?
Oh my
No.
God.
The
Oh,
question
yeah.
is what's right with it. Hopefully she'll look. Once it's stirred.
Stank for the bank.
Oh, that's Desmond. Feel that.
Ooh, we get somewhere? Oh, yes.
But it's still not there yet. Still got about
It's
2
not.
minutes, yeah. This whole process is about 15 minutes, but it's about a good, after you stir it for about 5 minutes to thicken. We could put the nuts in there, but I want to make sure. And then once you put the nuts in, you got about another 10 minutes to go, and then you're done.
So what about people that are not patient
Then they probably shouldn't make candy. You can order some. You can
Are
buy
you selling them?
No, I'm not. The only candy I'm selling is here.
No, I don't have a permit for that.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, you see how it's thickening now? How when you go around the edges, it really
that's
sticks?
so beautiful. Look. Food poor.
So, do you see how it's bubbled up and looking all nice and
Can
yummy?
you grab that?
And then, if you pull it, you see it's starting to come across from the edges. It's almost turned into like a caramel. This is also a great cooked frosting recipe.
Oh, she's a horrible.
If you didn't put the cinnamon in here, you could put coconut and pecans in here and make a real German chocolate frosting. But you can smell that caramel smell almost, that almost burnt caramel smell, I guess is the best way to describe it.
I wish I could send smell through video.
Okay, so I'm going to remove, so I'm going to start adding I'm going to add the nuts all at once. So the nuts are in. It's back on the fire, and I'm just going to stir. And you'll see
At
immediately.
the same fire?
Yep. You see how I just sucked up all that fast? Look at that.
Mm.
Just that fast. Do you see how all that is gone? Just that quickly.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So let me get that ladle because it's starting to get super tight, and I'm going to add some of this hot water to it just to kind of loosen it back up for me a little bit. Makes it more stirrable again.
Oh, it smells so good.
But you see how all that is gone? It doesn't take long. And this is the importance of having the hot water. So if it starts to seize up on you, just add some hot water. You don't want to add too much hot water, but you want to add enough to loosen it so that you can stir it together. Put it back on the heat for just a second.
Thank you. Oh, it smells good.
And what I'm doing now is just kind of wanting to break down some of the chunks so that we have a fully covered almond versus chunks of almond. I might have put a little too much water in, but we'll cook it down and see.
It still smells good.
Masquerade,
Huh?
there's a pan over there.
Over there. The cookie sheet, right?
Yeah. We're going to spray a little butter on that.
Spray butter.
And we're almost ready to dump this out. I'm going to take a little piece out just to kind of show you.
Boom.
That's
Not
what
like
you
that.
don't want. Yeah. You want the nuts to be covered independently. I'm going to turn this off. At this point, I think I got all the clumps out there. If you set that on the table right there for me. And we're basically just going to pour this out. Because all of our nuts are covered. They're nice and glossy and shiny. That's what you want.
Oh.
You want your nuts to be glossy and shiny.
Well.
Disease free.
And then you want to kind of just
Oh, that's so beautiful.
spread them out on the paper
So beautiful.
so that this can set. And if you are a bold person,
Oh, eat it hot?
you can kind of try to grab one and see what they're doing.
I
Some
would
people do like them in these chunks like this. It's not a necessity, but some people do like that. I am going to try one. I see over here on the corner, here's a nice hot nut.
You saw it here first. Shade of hot nut.
I'm going to hold that for you so you get you one. Try you a hot nut.
Oh, what should I try? Ooh, this looks good right
Show the camera. They're not going to come apart.
right here.
And they're hot nuts. Hold that for me. So, so this is our second recipe. We're going to set, these are our sugared nuts. We're going to let them set and they're going to crystallize. So we're going to set them next to our
they're good
rods.
already though.
Yeah, but you want them to set so they can get nice and crunchy.
Oh my god. I'm going to keep eating that.
This is a cluster of nuts. Hot. Oh my god.
Oh, what we got going on here? She better be painted. I'm not.
I'm going to wash out our pans when we do our next recipe.
Who wants these nuts?
Wow.
Obviously. Hot nuts in your mouth. Yes, God.
You like it?
Yes, I'm reading the comments.
Oh.
A hot cluster nut fuck.
Is that what we're calling?
Is that the name of the new recipe?
Okay.
Let's see here. Everybody wants your onesie.
This is my big one now.
Yeah. We're making people hungry and horny.
What Christmas candy recipe?
Ah. Thank you for watching. Yes. What happened to the volume? What do you mean? It says it's on. Oh, did we get lower? I could talk loud.
I didn't get all that. I thought it whispered.
We did what we could. Don't judge. You own 10% of what company? This is getting legal. I can't talk to you right now. What are we doing?
Emily.
Where's she at? Emily, girl. You want to try these? They're hot.
Oh,
Are they still hot?
these are our hot nuts. Have you had nuts before? Oh, you're too young. Try this little cluster right there. Grab that one right there and let me know what you think. Is it crunchy? Well, let them people know. They don't have to believe you. Is it good? You like that? So you will continue to eat nuts in the future? Just like your dad.
Oh, get out.
Wow.
What? These are good. These are really good.
They may not last the episode.
And here's the problem with these. This is what you say. This is the last one I'm going to have. I'm going to hang them all.
And then we both disappear.
Okay, this is the last one I'm going to have. I'm not going to have no more. I'm not. This is the big. I'm not going to have no. This is it.
I'm just going to stand here.
Oh, it's hot still.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you're dribbling the nuts. Got you chewing like that.
Baby. These are good. Who said something?
Of hot custard.
That's the name of our company? Well, in that case.
No, I don't have a permit for that. You want to try some?
Merry Christmas. Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
Oh, Josh says make a batch for us to snack on during finals night this year. These will not last.
Throw that in the tray. We can't. Take them out of here. Get my chillin' out of here. Give me one more. So fuck me.
Like perfect kids.
What? What happened?
We the only two black girls here. We have to stick together. So, do we have any questions so far about any of the candy making? Anybody have any questions? I can't see because I'm old. I'm gonna get a little nut. Though. Hold on.
We love a good hot nut. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, you dropping the
I
nuts?
dropped my nut.
I got it.
Okay. This I was gonna get out with no teeth. Okay. I'm gonna get one more little piece of nut. Just one more. These are good.
I think the episode changed.
These are good.
People just watching
Now,
us eat.
this is an eating show. These are good. You really don't want them to be in crunchy clusters like this, but it just makes it so much easier.
I love bubblegum too. What?
That's Desmond. Okay. Come on.
She's not gonna go back for anymore. I promise.
Those were good. This by her is
Selling my recipe today. Well, she
they
picked
should
up
look
a
like
good one.
this.
I like a little crump with it.
I'm gonna eat this.
I'm gonna eat mine too.
No, that
No. Mm-mm. Save the best.
Notice
For last.
she did not choose the one with the tumor.
The best for last.
We're not gonna have nothing to show at the end of the show. I'm only eating because I'm fat.
How many calories?
0.
I don't count those. Are the nuts organic?
I ain't pickle.
They're Walmart.
I only can tell you about 2 nuts that I know of.
What's on the pretzel? Did you miss that, Mark?
You need to zoom back to the beginning of the episode. See, you have a whole... Look how much pretzel you see. I went this far down on my...
I'm not saying a problem.
How much time we been on? You know, we can run over when we get to cutting up.
We got 20 minutes.
Oh. We're going to start on our final recipe. They're Southern pecan pralines.
Oh, this is a
It
good
can
part.
be a little tricky, but we're going to get started. I'm going to put this in my mouth first. Again, for this recipe, you need granulated sugar, brown sugar, salt, sea salt or kosher salt is preferred, 1 can of evaporated milk. I'll say it again, evaporated, not condensed. Evaporated milk.
What's the difference?
Condensed milk has sugar added and it's a lot thicker. Evaporated milk it's been evaporated. The water's been evaporated out, so it's mostly the solids. Cannot stress this enough. Butter, not margarine, has to be butter. Real creamy butter, real butter.
salted or unsalted.
It doesn't matter, it's your recipe. And vanilla extract. And then last but not least,
I didn't know it was that small. The box is so
pecans.
big.
And that's how you make your southern kind of pecan pralines. So we're going to get started. We need 1.5 cup of sugar. Oh, we need a pot for this. We need a bigger pot. You have a pot like this?
Mm.
We'll say where.
Got it?
Well, what's that pot? Yeah. This is aluminum. It's going to be too tricky. We're going to say what we got. We're going to say the pot that we have. You want to try to use enamel pot or a cast iron pot because it heats evenly. Because candy can be tricky. 1 minute you have something delicious, the next minute you have a pot of cement. So, gotta be
Ooh.
careful.
That quick?
That quick. You saw how quick the nuts came together. You know, when your nuts came together, Felicia, that was quick, wasn't it?
You put boiling water on them.
If you put boiling water on your nuts, they better come together quick. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say. So we need 1.5 cup of this. We're using a 1/4 cup
Can
measure.
we use G? Is that what that says?
Ghee is melted butter. You don't want it melted. No. Whole solid fat butter.
All that fat.
All that fat. So 1/4.
When we were shopping for these.
1/2. Kind of with me. 3/4.
I'll let you go ahead and do the math.
1 cup. We need another 1/2 cup. So this is another 1/4.
Oh, this is made for diabetics.
And this makes 1/2. And you need equal parts brown sugar.
Goodbye.
So the same thing. I don't know if this possibly picking up. One quarter. One half.
Oh, you're doing equal.
Yeah.
Mm.
3/4. Okay. 1 cup.
What'd she say? You smelt the cooking, so you woke up?
1/4.
You can smell it all the way up there?
And 1/2. So
It's not a flame, it's an electric stove.
So the first thing that we have in here is basically 3 cups of sugar. Half of it granulated, half of it brown. Then we're going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Again, we're just going to eyeball it. That's about what it looks like. Put that right on top. Then we're going to go with our evaporated milk, 1 whole can.
Ooh. Every time you say brown sugar, Mimi thinks of D'Angelo.
Hold on for a second. The vanilla you do not add now because the vanilla has alcohol in it and it will not allow the candy to come together. So once we put in, or once the candy gets to the candy stage, we're going to put in a few drops of vanilla and then add our pecans and basically do like we did with the almonds.
Mm.
But the difference of this recipe, because it's a softer candy, that's more of a sugar, is that this has butter and condensed or evaporated milk in it. So this is 6 tablespoons of butter. This is actually real butter, and this is actually 8 tablespoons. We're going to be okay adding 2 extra tablespoons.
All that fat.
And do you want to show them what this looks like before we start going?
Mm-hmm.
You can already see that pretty pecan praline color.
She eating nuts. She eating nuts over there.
I only ate a couple. So we're going to move this over
That's your
back
last
to the
one,
heat.
right?
No. We're not going to have nothing to... After this episode, I promise you, we're not going to have anything to show y'all. Nothing. So I hope you look at the ingredients now because we're not going to have anything to show. And I'll make sure of it. Hold on. Now you can... Did you go shut me off? So now you can see the nuts. They're all individual. Listen. Crunchy.
Mmm.
Crunchy.
She eating them like that, too.
Crunchy. These are the last ones I'm having, though, I promise. These little motherfuckers are good. Okay.
Oh my god, half of the pan's almost gone.
That has nothing to do with me.
Oh,
Nothing to do with
that
me.
looks so good. Look at the colors.
And
Flowing together.
if you use dark brown sugar, it'll already be darker. But as we cook this, it's going to get darker and darker.
Dark.
Deeper and deeper.
Ooh.
Because it's not just like fruit. They say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The darker the chocolate, the better it is for you. Scotty knows about that.
Does he?
Mary put a ring on it.
A good one, too.
Oh. So the secret again to making candy is you just want to make sure that you're stirring, always, always, always. If you're familiar with pecan pralines, you can already tell by the color.
That's pretty. Hold on. Is that butter just
It's kind of
sitting in there?
Normally, I would cut the butter into individual pieces just to help incorporate it in the mixture.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm not familiar with your stove, I can put the butter in as a block and slowly blend it in that way.
I prefer a gas stove.
I just prefer a stove. This one's still good though. Baby, when we put these pecans in, we have to move fast.
And there will be none of those left either.
We might have a more shot with this. I forgot to bring something. If you have those styrofoam egg carts, you know that look, with your eggs come in, you can take the styrofoam egg cart and you can spray it with a butter flavored spray of your choice. And then you take this mixture and you can pour it into the egg carts and let it set overnight. And then in the morning you flip it out and you can break it in its individual pieces already. If you don't want to take the time to make individual cakes. Or you can pour this on a whole sheet and break it. We have one cookie sheet left, so we're probably going to pour this on the whole sheet. But back in my day, my Aunt Louise taught me how to make us. My Aunt Louise branch in Midwest City, Oklahoma. She would literally butter her counter. And we would just take the pot and just, we was a factory. This is after she would have me climbing into trees 60 feet off the ground with a baton on some clothesline rope, shaking down pecans. Because we had to go and gather the pecans in the wild in Wynnewood, Oklahoma, Choctaw, Oklahoma, Shawnee, Oklahoma. We're just driving down roads, going up in people's picking pecans that long, paper shells. And then we would shell pecans because and put them in the freezer because we knew we wanted some candy. Or some pecan pie, or pecan tart.
We're not making that tonight.
Okay.
It smells good.
Now, again, do you see how loose this is? Again?
We know many.
Okay. But you see how the butter is sitting on the top? So I wasn't stirring, so now I'm going to go ahead and stir. And what the butter does and the milk, it adds a creaminess to the candy. It will be a solid candy, but it won't be like a peanut brittle. It won't be hard. Because you make a peanut brittle with a corn syrup. Mm-hmm. So this is considered a hard candy, but it's a soft hard candy, if that makes any sense.
Creamy hard candy.
Okay.
Oh, wait, let's check the comments. Let's see what people are saying.
Girl, can we eat some more than nuts?
Like squirrels collecting nuts. Desmond said the woods. The woods.
Desmond know about that. He from Okmulgee, Coweta, Muskogee. In Oklahoma, there are cities called Lottawater, Bowlegs, Antlers, Durant. I'm telling the truth.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of comments.
Oh, well, catch up. Ask if anybody's going to try to make any of these recipes.
Are you guys going to try to make any of these recipes?
Because granted, the first recipe was easy, but
I tried.
Maybe you should try the balls. Make it into balls, pretzel balls.
Oh.
Look at you. We can't never have nothing nice.
Was it nice though?
It was. Okay, can you open the pecans for me? Because when this goes, I got to be ready for it. Because we don't have usually I do this in a much higher wall pot. I'm going to take advantage of spraying this other tray down while I got the chance.
But we moving quick.
She's serious. You can't play with candy.
It's so scientific, somebody says.
Oh, look! Sugar nuts.
Did they happen to be there? Candy nuts, yes. Warm spiced candy nuts. Oh,
delicious.
Antioxidants are in dark chocolate. Yes, you're right.
You want to see my antioxidants?
Get out of here.
My antioxidants.
There's a pecan festival. Oh, It moved.
Okay, we're bubbling again.
Oh, I have to go. Well, people saying they're not going to climb trees.
You don't. You just put the baton in the clothesline wires where you throw the baton there and you shake it down. But if the baton don't come down after you, come up there and get it. Batons ain't cheap. Oh, I'm nervous. Look, we up to the rim. Oh wow. And do you want to stir it off? Oh, we got some ways to go for the pecans.
You told me to get ready.
I just wanted them open. But do you feel how it's starting to get thicker? It still has a long way to go, though. A long way.
How long does it take?
It takes about 10-15 minutes to get it to the candy stage, which is about 238 degrees if you have a candy thermometer.
And if you
But if it starts, if you make them, like I haven't made these in years, but I used to make them for years, so I can kind of just tell by the smell or the thickness, I can just kind of tell when it's ready. But you just want to make sure that you keep the mixture moving and pulling away from the sides so that it doesn't stick to the sides and seize up. You hate your sides to burn. And you can go back and forth from moving it off the fire if it gets out of hand for you.
Josh says he has a brittle recipe himself, and he was taught to pour it into ice cube trays and break it up.
Oh, you could do that. Same thing with an egg card. You already pay for the eggs. You might as well keep the card. I'm from a poor black family, and we need egg cards. And plus, when you pour it into the egg card, you can just go ahead and take it right then and there and let it set.
Desmond, I'm not reading that.
What is that? From this.
He said she ain't got no control over that body while she stirs.
It's contained in my uno.
Unless he's talking about me.
That's what it must have been.
I mean, I'm great at being horrible. I've already announced that.
Do you see it?
Ooh. It's starting to smell.
Stick your finger in there and see if it tastes good.
No!
Oh my Jesus. So I'm going back. Usually I would suggest this in a high pot with a high rim on it. I should have probably bought one. I didn't think about it.
I was at the store.
But I'm going back and forth. But you want to use like a good enamel pot. I have a couple at the house that I got at Ross for like $9.
Oh. Might have to go to Ross.
And get you a nice enamel pot. Turn your heat down a little bit more. And you just want to keep on stirring, keep on stirring, keep on stirring.
For 15 minutes.
No. For about 10.
Oh, okay.
And then once it's to the candy stage, you want to quickly add your vanilla and stir it in, and then add the pecans.
Oh.
And then you want to stir for just a few minutes, and then you want to dump it. You want to dump it. And there's no other, you have to use, because the mixture doesn't stick to the wooden spoon like it would to plastic or metal. That's why you want a wooden spoon.
Plus, stirring that long, the plastic ones melt.
Wow.
Not that I know.
Plastic spoons aren't for cooking, they're for serving.
Not that I know. But I may have melted a spoon or two.
When you make these, if we were making individual pecan pralines, once they set, and they're all, it takes about 5 minutes for them to set where you can handle them, then you can take and turn and cover them with chocolate.
Oh.
To this recipe that I'm making right now on the stove, if you didn't want to use the pecans, you could use grated coconut, and they're called haystacks.
Haystacks. No.
The haystacks, they're almost like, if you pour them into the egg cards, they're just little stacks of that's what they look like. And some of the nice candy stores are still sell them. What?
It says, dump it like she dumps her trade.
What is trade?
I don't know. I've never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Unfamiliar.
Maybe it's
terminology I'm not familiar with.
That sounds political.
Yeah.
Wooden spoon good to beat a badass kid with?
Ask mine, they'll tell you. I use my wooden spoons for cooking. I got another way of handling my kids.
Oh?
That's why they're good. You better ask them. Do you see how it's getting thicker, Ken?
Oh, it's getting close to the edge, y'all.
Yeah, it's bubbling up. That's the milk in there and the butter helping it bubble. But see how light and fluffy that is?
So beautiful. It smells delicious, too.
And the vanilla's not even here yet.
Ooh, Desmond said lies. We don't know what trade is.
What is it? Can someone tell me? It's a Christmas miracle. Can someone tell me what trade is? I don't know.
Oh, I gotta put this down.
It's heavy. If you remove this from this, okay, come look now. You see how it's starting to get together?
We going back? We going back?
I want you to. Do you see how it's starting to?
Oh.
It's still thin, but you see how it's starting to. How it's starting to come together. You can. This is also can be a way of making old fashioned fudge too, because you used to have to cook old fashioned fudge.
Mm-hmm.
But once we dump the nuts in, just like how we did before, it's gonna absorb all of this candy pretty quickly. Pretty quick, like.
That was gone.
I wish we would have made enough almonds to show you guys at the end, but they're gone.
So sorry.
Pretty much.
I'm so sorry.
So, Felicia, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you and Emily gonna finish off making the pretzel rods?
We might have to do that.
So I would suggest maybe crushing the peppermint again.
What's she trying to say? She wrote. I made the best.
Show them your best.
It's actually a little more pathetic now. Look. It's broke. I dropped it.
We're getting thicker. We'll turn the heat up a little bit. I'm nervous.
You don't have to get nervous when it's thick.
Okay. But you can see how it's getting thicker.
Just don't let it burn the sides. I hate burnt sides.
Okay. So candy making can be easy. It can be difficult. It really just depends on you. And once you get down the basics of making the filling, you can pretty much do this with anything. If you didn't want to use pecans, you could have used peanuts or any kind of nuts, sunflower seeds, just anything really.
You said coconut too, right?
I like making them with coconut. They're called haystacks. They're according to my grandmother, Mrs. Reverend Conley, my dad's side, my paternal grandfather, my grandma Betty would make them in, being a pastor's wife, she said that they make them in the haystacks that represented the manger where Jesus was born. So that's some of the hay. And you put the haystacks into the stockings, the Christmas stockings.
Merry Christmas.
We love the haystacks.
Merry Christmas.
And this is getting thicker and thicker. It's not there yet, but it is getting there. I can feel it.
Can you guys see the color? Look how beautiful that is.
And it's nice and glossy and shiny. That's what you want, for sure.
It smells good.
And you can hear it where it's starting to come together as almost like a solid, if you will. I'm going to go a little higher with the heat because I'm feeling confident.
Not the confident.
Yeah. My accent. Accent degree. So who's going to try any of these recipes tonight?
Oh, hold on. Let me put it down. Eddie Omega says, can you use margarine instead of butter?
No, absolutely not. Margarine is vegetable oil, and you don't want to put oil in there because the oil will separate. Has to be butter.
Nope, no melted butter.
No melted butter. No ghee. Has to be butter. What part of has to be butter y'all not getting?
Don't be afraid of thickness. Thick is your friend.
It's candy. Put all the stuff in candy. We're not making fat-free candy over here, baby.
You love whose lashes? Oh.
I don't have none else. I got you. She's wearing those, and I'm wearing 109s.
So nobody's gonna make me some? I mean,
if anybody makes them, I want them to post it so I can see.
A Christmas miracle. Trade is a Christmas miracle. You right.
Just at Christmas? You like Santa? He only comes once a year? That don't sound like nothing I want.
What you mean? You don't know what this is. A trade is a person who knocks on windows and doors at all times.
Really dancing, that's dancing.
Oh my
Ask
god.
Desmond what bubblegum is.
What's bubblegum, Desmond? Oh, see, this is why we can't hang out. This don't be
Oh, we're
enough.
almost there. Another 2 minutes, hopefully.
Oh, this is getting heavy. Somebody buy me a camera so I don't have to hold this computer no more.
All I want for Christmas is a camera. A camera. A camera.
For hire.
Okay.
Oh, you hear it?
Sounds like you're stirring pasta.
Mm.
But you gotta stir the whole time. You gotta keep it moving.
Don't be watching Netflix and trying to cook.
Because if this seasons up, you might as well throw the pot away. It's not coming out.
And then you're going to piss me off because then it's going to smell like burnt sides.
What, you don't throw it away? So no matter.
Just throw the pot away.
Just throw the pot away. That's your best bet. Just throw the pot away. Don't even try to play with it.
Don't
Just throw
soak it because it's awful.
Yeah, just throw it out.
My mom did that to me once.
She threw you out?
No, she made me wash a pot after I had burnt like sugar in it.
And how long did it ever come out?
Oh.
Everything tasted like sugar. Mom, why are green beans so sweet?
I hated that. She was like, "You never do that again." I haven't.
Now, if you can smell it now, can you smell how it's changed? It smells toasty almost. And I can tell by the sound, because it's making more and more noise, that we're getting closer and closer to where we need to be. Not there yet, but getting closer.
Patience.
This takes a little bit longer because we're using, like I said, way more sugar than we used with the second recipe. But it's getting there. If you wanted to test this, can you fill that measuring cup up with some water?
Sure. Desmond says bubblegum is a spiritual dance.
A spiritual dance.
How much water?
Just fill up, just however you want to fill it up. And do you have a metal spoon? Oh, that's fine. And we're going to set it right there. This is a way, this isn't anywhere near close, but I can use this ladle right here. I'm fine.
Oh. I do have a metal spoon.
No, I can use the ladle. It's fine. We're almost there. You can take some of this. Look, right here for me.
What's that?
If you see how it went to the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
that means it's not ready. If you
Is
put
that
it
a way
in,
to test it?
yeah, if you put it, is the water cold or is it warm?
That was cold.
If you put it in the cold water, it should turn into a ball. So that's how you know it's not ready. You can pour it out. That's how you know you're still not ready.
Still not ready.
At all. It came on out? Yeah. Because it wasn't ready.
So it should stick.
So it should turn into a ball
Oh.
as you put it in. You can put some cold water in there if you like. And again, we're not making individual patties. We're going to just pour it into the pan and let it set.
And only touch it once and eat only one.
And I can feel this really starting to thicken. How much time we got, Mama?
Oh, we're past, but it's fine.
Okay. Oh, look at it now. You want to stir it some?
No.
You feel how thick it is? Oh, don't push it on the sides. You don't want to do that. Mama, look at you. I'm fine. Fine. Yeah. Almost close. We still got a little ways to go. Yeah. Okay, well, let me have a good vinegar. Let me have the no extra. Are you okay? Oh no, put the lid back on it. Oh, it doesn't have to, come on, is the lid open? Is the lid open? No, it doesn't.
Oh.
I added a liquid.
No.
Oh, look what it did. Can you smell that?
Are y'all still there? Got quiet.
I'm gonna bring the pan over real quick.
You are.
Because this is gonna, when we pour this, it's gonna go.
How far back should I be?
I don't know, but I'm gonna need these pecans in just a second.
So should I put this down?
I can probably do it.
Ooh, that filled that up.
See how nice and shiny that is? So we got about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to dump it. You could pour these out into patties, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to dump it. So it'll be like almost like making a block of fudge or bark or whatever you want to call it. But we're almost there.
Show is.
Do you see how that is right there?
Yeah.
That's the soft dough stage you want it to be at.
Let me go let this can out.
Try that, Felicia. Get a finger. Get your finger now.
Oh, wait. Let me get one in my nail, too.
It's just like almost like caramel in your teeth.
If anybody gets diabetes after this, don't call me.
Okay. So you want to dump this? You ready to dump it?
Okay. I'm standing back for reasons.
We're going to dump this on the pan.
Oh, that was smooth. Look, ooh, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And that's a cool pan, right?
Yeah, just a cool pan with parchment on it and butter. And right now we're just going to let it set. This needs to set for at least 30 minutes to an hour, or overnight is probably best. So I'm just going to set over here to cool down.
Overnight?
Yeah, you can't eat the candy the same day always. I'm going to set this on up here because this has a heat. So do we want to do a review of what we made?
Yeah, let's go for it. We want to show people?
Yeah. So the first thing that we made were the dip pretzel rods.
Those were hers.
With
not mine.
And crushed peppermints. And you can gather these together and put them in bundles and put a ribbon around them and put them in stockings. Or these are easy to make with children. And when your frosting sets, you just simply microwave it again. It'll do the same thing.
And remember to go deep.
And if your bag of peppermint seizes up on like this, at this point I would just probably crush some of the rods up and mix it all together and make little balls by hand. Still good.
And don't let me come and do this at your house.
And then this is our moderate recipe. At this point, you just want to go back in, and they're like solid, and you just want to break them apart so that you have individual sugared nuts. Or if you like, you can make it into clusters, but we want to make it into individual nuts. You just want to take your hands and break it up, which is what I'm going to do. That's why we have it on the parchment paper, see?
Oh, look how easy that was.
Oh. These are the sugared nuts right here. So it's almost like a bark. You can just break it up into pieces if you don't want to break it up into individual nuts. Very nice, very delicious. You can buy some $1 chargers and put this on that, or wrap it up in some colored cellophane or whatever you want to do. And there you go. I like to kind of leave it like this in pieces.
That's how we were eating.
And then unfortunately, our pecan praline, it needs to set. This was the most difficult recipe, so I did it last. But in the future, if I did it, I probably would do it in the reverse way, just so. But you can kind of see where it's already, in areas, it's already starting to, like right here on the edges, it's already starting to set somewhat. So it'll be set in about 10 or 15 minutes, but we'll be gone by then. But hopefully we'll go ahead and see if I can. I'm trying to rush it. You don't want to rush. See how it's kind of already setting? See, it's already starting to set.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's hot.
That's how we got started. Ooh. It smells good in here. That's all I can tell you.
I'm going to see. Let's try a little piece of that. Woo. It's hot now. I'm not setting her up. This is hot. Ain't that good?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the paper right here, it's already starting to set. But I need to leave it alone and let it do what it's going to do.
That is good.
Ooh. And hot.
I'm ready to eat it right now.
Merry Christmas.
Oh. Let's see what everybody's saying. Yes, perfection. Go deep or go home. Yes, you're right. Mimi likes the clusters. Blow on the hot nuts first before entry. I don't blow on them. Desmond said, bring me some. Ooh, that looks good.
This is what the candy's going to look like with the pecans in it.
That color?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, Desmond said he'll be over tomorrow.
For what?
For some candy.
Ain't gonna be no candy leaving this house.
Well, the pralines won't be ready until tomorrow, so...
They'll be ready by the hour. But and when the pralines are done, because we put the butter spray on the back of it, Felicia, you can just take it by the corner, lift it up, and break it like you did the nuts. So I'm gonna try to...
Oh, don't mind this.
No, I'm trying to put together a little sample tray of how this would look, like on a Christmas, on a charger, you know, for your family and friends.
Who are they?
Family and friends.
She put together a plate to go.
And this is just what some of our candy looks like. It's just the pretzel rods and some of our sugared nuts. And if we would have had the pralines ready, I would have put some pralines on there. If you go after Christmas and buy those dollar colorful chargers, make you some candy. You can make little cookies and make little holiday decorative plates for your friends. Quick, easy gift. More importantly, they're made with love.
Something like that.
From our kitchen to yours, we wish you best dishes. And I am not a racist.
Oh my God. She did put a whole stick of butter in there, though.
Okay. Butter.
Oh, where's where I'm supposed to say? Oh, now the whole family is chiming in. Bring me some. Oh my God. Look at
And
this.
I should have mentioned. I didn't mention it.
What? We're still on.
Oh, we're still on.
Mm-hmm.
If you have canisters or freezer bags, this candy will keep. Not that it's going to stay that long, but it'll stay for 3 months in an airtight container. It's not going to last that long. We hit these nuts hard. Only because we have experience. I'm going to get a few more from my mouth.
You want some?
Scotty prefers the home nuts. These are so crunchy. My Jesus. Scotty, what nuts are you going to eat? I think he's already stuffed his stocking.
What? I have no idea what that means.
I've seen his stocking.
There's no other way to hit nuts but hard. You can have some.
Any of them. That's my plate. I'm sorry. I'm running her kids out of here. I don't care if y'all live here.
Some of the light. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't read that.
What did it say?
Send some of the light skinned family in Illinois.
We're just gonna put our candies, our sugar nuts in a bowl.
Good for like when you have holiday parties, right?
Yeah.
And that recipe was pretty quick.
They're all pretty quick. You just have to watch because it gives you an approximate time that they'll cook, but you'll know when it's time. Trust me, you'll know. When you fix your nuts to serve, always remember to leave you a little something in the kitchen. Always have nuts in your kitchen. You like these?
Oh, hello, Masquerade.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Are they good?
Yeah, they're
It
delicious.
is not peanut brittle.
And they're not super cinnamony too. You can taste the cinnamon though.
Just a little bit, but not like it's not overpowering. Mm-hmm.
The bomb. Bomb's bigger.
Okay, our this ain't set up yet. Oh, move back. Move back. You're not in the film. Move back.
Ooh.
It's setting. Look. It's still hot as fuck though, but no, it ain't ready yet. But look. I'm gonna take a little piece off. Ah!
Just a little.
Okay,
piece.
see, I tried to rush it. That's hot as hell.
Go that far. It's
Is
good
that hot
though.
in your hands, baby?
I didn't touch it. That was you.
That's masquerade. Is it hot? Oops, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So
Are you okay?
Try the praline right here.
I did.
Oh, did you?
She stuck her hand.
No, that's different. This is different. This is pecans. It's still hot though. It's not set all the way, but it's getting there.
Okay.
See, if I would have made them in patties, they would have set faster. But this shit is still hot. Look at the bottom. It's all nice and chewy, and then the top. So, do y'all like to eat the bottom, or y'all like to eat the top?
What?
As a top, I like to eat the bottom.
I could both ways.
Those snacks will team well with tacos on finals night. Josh is trying to set you up.
I see. It's a little grainy. A little bit.
How can we make it less grainy?
Cook it longer.
Just a little longer?
Yeah.
Or we could just let it settle.
It's not going to stop it from being grainy a little bit, but it's good. It's still good.
Desmond said both.
Look at me. Over the high of the kite, all this fucking sugar. So, Felicia, Felicia has homework.
I'll just eat it like this.
I'm sure you will. But all this candy we made, like she could take this and cut this into slices or squares or however you want to do it. This is enough candy for at least 20 people. Most people eat about 3 servings of candy. So if you got 3 pretzel sticks and a couple of chunks of the nuts and a couple of squares of this.
Oh, it makes like a cute little...
Yeah, you'll be set.
Why did...
I want this to... Sometimes you can put this in a refrigerator. It's as hot as lava.
You tried it.
It's setting though. Let me just leave it alone. Look, let me get that out of there.
While that sets and we still dig our fingers in it.
It's good.
Do you have any shows coming up? Do you have anything?
Oh, I
any
do.
gigs? Any gigs?
Yeah, Friday you can catch me at the Rock for Miss Merry Christmas with Barbara Seville and Davina Ross and Justin Sider will be entertaining as there's 5 contestants competing to be the first Miss Merry Christmas at the Rock. I'd also like to mention that March 1st, also at the Rock, will be the 10th annual Miss Gay Supernova US of A Newcomer Contest, which Felicia, better known as My Butterfly, is the very first winner. We're in our 10th year. We got better since then. We're in our 10th year. The theme this year is Walk the Ball. The category is. So all of our formers will be coming back in categories that I have playfully chosen for them. It'll be audience votes. So you guys will get to decide who won their category. And then we'll have contestants from all over the country. We'll also have back the very beautiful, twice voted most beautiful, Anahi Norell will be relinquishing her title. No, Anahi Norell from El Paso, Texas will be relinquishing her title and we'll be crowning our 10th winner here, which will be competing in Dallas, Texas, August 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th for Miss Gay US of A National. And Alexa Oasis will be here. She's all the way from Brownsville, Harlingen area of Texas, way down by Mexico. She'll be here for the week following the pageant on the 1st. She'll have some bookings in town at various clubs. She'll be at Caramba. She'll be at Cruisin' 7th. hopefully I'll talk with Barbara this weekend, and she'll be with Barbara as well. And then on the 5th and 6th, we will fly together to go do California US of A Newcomer and Miss Golden State US of A. I'll be emceeing that contest. And then she'll be coming back. Basically, Alexis Oasa will be here with me from the 29th of February to March 9th.
Dang,
But 3 of those days will be in California for
reserve
their
your tables.
And I just like, see how that sets up and it's nice and shiny.
At first, I didn't know what that was.
This is that's really, and it's not, it's
Oh, it's like that.
That's the. And that's where it says pinch and pinch and pinch. Well, I'm gonna leave you to these pots and pans.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me on Let's Have a Fefe.
Yes.
Are we still live?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry Freddie wasn't here, but Freddie's doing an amazing job as Mr. US of A MI Classic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that wherever he is tonight, he's having a great time.
Yes.
Missed you, Freddie. I had something for you, but I'll save it for next time. I'm sure I'll be back with you. Or maybe not. She didn't tell me.
I said yes.
Yo, yeah.
You can join us
that
at
way.
You can join us at Cat Bingo, Drag Bingo, and Cat at La Guitarra on the 27th, and tickets go fast, so don't message me to get them at the last minute, because the last couple of times we've had people trying to get in, and we ran out of tickets. We ran out of spruce. And then Freddie's got Burlescapades on the 11th of January, and on the 4th he's flying to Florida for his last prelim. We're sponsored by Wigs of a Kind. You can find them at wigsofakind.com. Oh. The Burley Barber. You can book your appointment with theburleybarbers.com. Special thanks to Brandon, Bess, Leanne, Carrie, and Corey, Allison, Joan, and more for supporting us on Patreon. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/letshaveafefe. Be sure to like this episode, subscribe, share it with your friends, enemies, and Trump supporters who now have found out that he's been impeached. You can subscribe to us as a podcast and listen all the time on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and more. And you can also follow us on Facebook, which most of you watch us on Facebook anyway, Twitter, and Instagram. Special thanks to a special guest.
You said it was time at the end. These are called chocolate bonbons.
No, you call them antioxidants.
Oh, antioxidants.
Mm-hmm.
But together they're bonbons.
I don't think we have a show next week because it's Christmas.
This chocolate, and I'm talking about myself and Felicia, we both come with nuts. They're not sugared. They're not
optional.
Yeah, they're not sugared though. Are they sugared?
They could be.
Mine are salty.
Milk for the nuts. Oh my god, I gotta get out of here. This is.
Thanks, baby. Happy holidays.
Mwah.
Girl, I want to eat this so bad.
Good night.
Trying to force it. See when it sets